Hello, welcome to an interview with the newest offensive assistant coach of the Georgia State Panthers, Mr. Dan Ellington. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with us. Really excited to get to speak with you. So I guess just first question, how you been keeping busy during the coronavirus situation, locking down? I know you're in Mississippi right now. What has your day-to-day been looking like for you?
Well, when we was in school before graduation, I was mainly doing schoolwork and working out pretty much every day. Now I'm just working out and just happy I'm done with school and I'm happy I graduated.
Congratulations on your graduation, by the way. So you just graduated with a degree in education.
Yes.
Did your decision to pursue coaching influence your decision to look into majoring in education? Did that have any what went into your decision choosing your major like that?
I knew my major before I even got into college. Honestly, I think I knew my major like back in high school, what I was gonna major in college. I decided I wanted to be a coach in like ninth grade, and by my senior year of high school, I knew what I wanted to major in, and it was education. It was obviously because I wanted to coach. I honestly didn't know I wanted to coach on the college level until I got to college, though. When in high school, I wanted to coach on the high school level. So that's kind of the route I took at first. Then I decided I wanted to coach college ball.
Excellent. So did the way that you approach the game as a player change once you realized you wanted to pursue coaching as a career?
Not really. Kinda a little bit. I say the film watching, studying more of the game, studying why players do this, studying why players do that. I would say just a tweak probably changed a little bit.
Gotcha. So how does it feel going from playing under Coach Elliott to now you're joining his staff as a full-time coach here for the upcoming season?
That feels good, knowing that I can learn from him even more because I learned from him a lot, not just a player, but as a man. He's a family guy, take care of his families first, and then he treats the football players, his team, like they're part of his family. So that's one of the things I'm really excited about, just learning even more from Coach Elliott and the staff.
So how do you think maybe the dynamic has shifted between you guys now? Obviously, he was very involved in you transferring here. You play under him for 2 years, and now you are moving into a coaching role under him. Like, what's the dynamic in the relationship between you guys? How has that evolved as you've gotten to know him?
It's been really good. Our relationship is really tight. I think I can go to him about just about anything, talk to him about anything. I think he'll give me his honest answer. He's a straight up guy. And that's one thing I really, really love about him. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to tell you up front and tell you what he thinks. And that's one thing I really like about him. I think that's how our bond is really, really tight. He's a really, really good coach, really good guy, and I'm happy him being a part of my life.
Awesome. I kind of want to switch and talk a little bit about your relationship with the offensive coordinator, Coach Glenn. Did he it seems like you guys clicked early, obviously, when he came and joined the program. Did he play any part in your desire to specifically pursue coaching here at Georgia State, to like stick around the program, learn from him as well?
Oh, yeah, he did. No doubt about it. Because his offense, I've been a part of an offense like this, but not his type. He liked to play really, really fast. He got a lot of package plays. His offense is just great, especially just to play in, and just to learn from him even more while I'm here too. I mean, when he first got here, I think we just bonded. I think we bonded right off the bat. I remember when he first got the job, and he texted me on Twitter and said, I remember the exact words. He said, "We're gonna have a lot of fun together. I can't wait to coach you." And as like the first day he got here, I think we just bonded. I think he always made me laugh. I always made him laugh. He's another dad, if you ask me. He's a really good guy. I love Coach Glenn.
That's awesome to hear. I kind of want to shift focus now and talk a little bit about the 2019 season. So we were actually at the spring game and spoke to you in the scrum after the 2019 spring game leading into the fall semester. And you kind of called the shot. You said, don't be shocked if Georgia State beats Tennessee come August 30th. What gave you the confidence to make that, to call that shot so early in the season, knowing that you had such a tall task ahead of you guys?
We had a chip on our shoulder, and I saw it in the weight room. I saw it on spring mat drills, spring practices, even in the spring game, even in the summer. we had a chip on our shoulders. Everybody bought into what the strength coaches was wanting us to do, what our coaches wanted us to do. With Coach Glenn coming in and learning, we had to learn a new system. Everybody bought into it. It wasn't a lot of playing around. It was business. When we got to the football facility, everybody just bought in, and you just seen leaders take over, and you just seen guys mature. Those freshmen that was going to sophomores mature, and you just seen things like that. I was not worried about us going into that game and being in it. I wanted us to win that game, and and I called it, and I'm not. Everybody asked me, was I shocked? I was like, no, not really. It was just a really good feeling.
Definitely. So what do you think that win did for you guys moving forward? Entering the season 1-0 is great, but when it comes to a win like that, it's got to mean a little bit more for you guys in the locker room. What did that win do for your guys' mentality moving into the rest of the season?
Yeah, it didn't give us a big head. Our coaches definitely wasn't going to let us think we had the big head. I think I'm glad we played Furman the next week, and I'm glad that game went how it went because it made sure that we was on our toes. Coming off a big win like Tennessee, then you go play at FCS school. You just want to make sure you give the same performance that you played the week before. And I thought we did. I think Furman played a really, really good game offensively. I thought they, did some good things defensively. But we just stayed in the game and made sure we just kept playing hard, and we did what we were supposed to do.
Awesome. So I kind of want to hit you with a little bit of like a rapid fire around here. So I'm just going to throw you 2-3 questions and then just give me your first kind of response that comes to your mind. Sound good?
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Favorite athlete of any sport?
Johnny Manziel.
Ooh, explain that for me.
Johnny, I've been watching Johnny for a long, long time. It's honest between him and Deshaun Watson, but I've been watching Johnny since I was in high school, and I used to like kind of similar to our game while I was in high school, and then when I got to Georgia State my senior year, it kind of transferred over to Deshaun a little bit. But Johnny Manziel is my favorite all time.
Awesome. What's your favorite sports memory, just in general? Could be as a fan, as a player.
I would say as a player, beating Tennessee, definitely. Yeah, that's it.
For sure. Quality answer. And it's kind of a curveball. Best OG Capri Sun flavor?
Fruit punch.
Fruit punch? All right, I can respect it. I'm more of a strawberry kiwi guy myself, but, I can at least respect the fruit punch. So going back to 2019, Georgia State football team's rolling, and then you get into the ULM game, and everyone knows you go down with a ACL injury. What went into your decision to playing through it? Because I know that's it was a big thing kind of in the national sports media you got some attention for. Talk me through maybe your conversations with the coaching staff, the medical staff. What went into your decision to continue on and play throughout the rest of the season?
Well, obviously I knew I tore my ACL. We just didn't get it confirmed until like that Sunday. Mm-hmm. And, that Monday we found out – that Monday morning I actually found out that I had the torn ACL. And, we went to practice. I don't think we even told the team yet. And I don't think the team knew till like Tuesday, Wednesday. We kept telling like media and everybody it was just a knee sprain. Mm-hmm. And I think it was me, my parents, the medical staff, Coach Elliott, and the coaching staff, they all knew. So I think it was like that Monday night. I called Coach Glenn first. He's the first person I called. And we got to talking. I was like, will you let me play on it? And I gave him my reasons. And I told him I want to play. I want to play for the school. I want to play for the Sunbelt Championship. Because we were still in the race, even though we had lost. We just had to be out. And Coach Glenn told me, he said, I will let you play if Coach Elliott said you can go. And I was like, all right. So as soon as I pressed that red button, I went to call Coach Elliott. And we got to talking, and he said, well, let's see how you move in practice first. And I said, okay. And so I moved well in practice, and he made me go full gear. And then after that full gear practice, he pulled me in his office and said, you going to go? I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right, you're going to go. And he gave me the okay like Friday. The medical staff did talk to my dad. Coach Elliott did talk to my dad. And then once my dad gave Coach Elliott the okay, it was a no-brainer for me then, because once he gave him the okay, it was I basically I just had to convince my dad to say yes, and I just kept telling him I'm gonna be fine, and that's how it went. The doctors did tell me the risk that could happen. They told me I could tear a lot more in my knee, but it was just an easy decision, especially playing for a Sun Belt championship, trying to get the first Sun Belt championship to Georgia State, and playing for the school, playing for your coaches, playing for the teammates, the love that you got for those guys. That was just an easy decision for me, to be honest with you.
So how are you feeling health-wise now? I mean, you go through the rehab, the surgery, and everything. How are you feeling now?
The surgery went pretty good. I think the surgery lasts like 5 hours, I'm not gonna lie. But the rehab it's been some ups and downs with the rehab. But it's getting better. The knee's getting better. The knees it's not where I want it to be, but it's where it needs to be.
Awesome. That's good to hear. So when you think about the 2019 Georgia State football team, just the first thing that comes to your mind.
Winning mentality.
Expand on that for me.
Because we took everything we took everything from practices to walkthroughs to games to bus ride to games. We took everything as a business-like approach. We knew what was at stake. We wanted to make history. And we made some history with winning the most winning games in the season, the winningest record at home, and beating Tennessee. It was just a business-like mentality, and we kept it that way. Winning, we always made sure we win in the classroom and on the field. That's what I mean by when I say winning mentality.
So what do you think the legacy or lasting impact that team will have left on a relatively young program? I mean, this is the 10th season of Georgia State football, and then to have such to have the kind of season that you guys did, what do you think that does for a program that's just getting off the ground to, kind of move that forward?
Definitely the expectations now is to get to a Sun Belt championship and win it. I think that's the expectations for at least for us as players and coaches. I think it's a no-brainer for us or what we want, and we can do it. I think we got the pieces to do it. We got the team to do it. We got the coaches to do it. I think we can do it, and that's the expectation for us. The expectation not gonna lower. It's gonna stay right there. We expect to win. We expect to get to the Sun Belt championship and to win it.
Awesome. So again, shifting gears back to kind of your coaching situation now, if you weren't if you had to pick a dream coaching job for yourself to land in that you'd like to eventually make it to, you said you've made it to the college level, you're kind of looking to stick around there. Is there a dream job that if this came open for you, this would be like the best case scenario for Dan Ellington?
The dream job, I got two actually.
Okay.
The dream job is to be the head coach at Ole Miss. And I would also like to be the head coach of Georgia State, my alma mater. So those are two dream jobs right now. I would definitely like to be – those are the two dream jobs.
Okay. So then let me ask you this. If you weren't working in sports, what would you be doing?
That's a tough question. That's a tough one. I honestly don't know. And that's one reason why I wanted to coach. I knew I would. I love football too much to give it up. I mean, that's a tough question. I don't know. I like the Secret Service. I like the idea of that, protecting the powerful man of the country. I do like that idea. But other than that, being a Secret Service guy and coaching, I honestly wouldn't know what to do.
Hey, the man knows what he likes. That's totally fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do.
So have you already started watching film for 2020 yet?
Yes, I actually have. I actually been watching football since Corona hit.
Really? What kind of stuff you've been watching? Georgia State stuff, more other teams out there, NFL stuff? Like, what do you got your eyes on?
A little bit of both. I go back and watch the App State game and what we could have did better, what I could have done better. And I go back and watch old football games. Like, I would go back and watch the old Texas A&M versus Alabama. I go back and watch Ole Miss versus Alabama. I go back and watch Mississippi State versus Auburn. I go back and watch those type of games. And I think, you can just learn from a lot of stuff. You can learn from Deshaun. You can from Watson. You can learn from Johnny Manziel. You can learn from a Bo Wallace and stuff like that. Chad Kelly. So I go back and watch those type of games.
So what do you think? So you're going to be working with the running backs primarily, and then in the press release, they said you'll also kind of be stepping into the wide receiver and the quarterback rooms. But what changes the way that you watch film when you're not just watching it from me as a quarterback looking to improve? Like, how do you look at that to try and help other guys now that you're in a position where you're going to be on the coaching staff?
Well, now that I mean, as a quarterback, you kind of watch it for every position, honestly, because as a quarterback, you got to know what everybody's doing, what everybody's responsibility is. So, honestly, me being a quarterback actually helps me because I know what the running back's supposed to do, and I know how he's supposed to do it. I know what gap he needs to run. I know what he needs to read on runs, like inside zone. He needs to chase the center's butt. So it's stuff like that because the quarterback run inside zone, he runs outside zone. So I know the reads the running backs needs to make. I know who he's supposed to block on the slide protection. I know what he's supposed to do when he needs to, on a gap protection. So I know that stuff. I just need to get just more in detail with it. I think that'll be my challenge.
So do you think that as a kind of to self-describe like a dual threat running, throwing quarterback, that do you think that makes you uniquely qualified to be able to help out the running back core here?
No doubt about it, because of what I just said, because you as a quarterback, as a dual threat quarterback, you're gonna run power, you're gonna run inside zone, you're gonna run outside zone, especially if you play for Coach Elliott. He's gonna run the quarterback. He's gonna run draw. He's gonna run speed option. He's gonna run inside zone. That's what he does, and we have to have a mobile quarterback that can run and throw it. And I think that does help you a lot if you're a dual threat quarterback. And you can just teach running backs and stuff like that. But I definitely think it's going to help me.
Okay. So presumably you've had conversations with other members of the coaching staff both before and after kind of accepting this position now. What has been their advice to you, both for, taking on the field stuff and the coaching, but kind of off the field? Like, what is the biggest piece of advice that somebody on the coaching staff has given you that's kind of stuck with you throughout this whole process?
I think Coach Stepp, Coach Stepp is really tight. Our tight ends coach. If I really have something if I have a question, I go and ask Coach Stepp because he always tells me with the right answer. And it's dead period right now, and you're not supposed to talk to 2022 and 2023 recruits. Well, actually, one of them hit me up, and before I went back and and said something to the recruit, I texted Coach Stepp, but he said, no, you can't do that. So I think it's I got to learn all the new rules and stuff like that. So I won't get in trouble. So I won't make the school get in trouble. It's little stuff like that right now.
Okay. So now I'm going to kind of run something by you. When you hear me say that you're likely, I haven't fact checked this, but I just going off of what I know about the industry, you have to be one of the youngest assistant coaches on like a full-time position in maybe all of FBS. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Blessed. Honestly, I'm blessed. I'm really thankful for Coach Elliott, to be honest with you. He's a special guy, and I think he knows I'll run through a brick wall for him if he tells me if that's the right thing to do. I think he knows that. It's just blessed. I'm just blessed to be in the position I am.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you. My last question for you is, now that Panther fans have known Dan Ellington, the quarterback, does Dan Ellington, the assistant offensive coach, have a message to the Panther fans out there, what they can expect from your tenure here with the school?
Just they expect to win. I think we're going to continue to win. As long as Coach Elliott is the head coach of Georgia State, we're going to be competitive. We're going to win, expect to win. And we're just going to fight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan Ellington. Congratulations on your graduation. Congratulations on the new position with the team. Looking forward to a lot of success here in the future with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.